This is part two of a 5-part series of how to back up your Joomla website. If you haven't watched part one, I highly recommend that you uh, click on the part one of this series. So in part two, we're going to talk about how to configure Akeeba backup component. So you've already downloaded and installed Akeeba, so it should be under your components menu, and right here it should say Akeeba backup. You click on Akeeba backup, and it should bring this screen up. Here, all we're concerned about is really the configuration. So we're going to click on this button here that says configuration. And everything else is pretty much set up by default. What we want to do is basically change the output directory. Now, the output directory is basically where Akeeba saves your file or your backup file after you do a backup. Most people tend to forget where the file is because it saves it to your root directory or to a directory on the root drive, and which is through your hosting. So if I click here, it shows me that Akeeba is going to save my backup file under, this is my root here, a folder or directory called administrator, and then under a subfolder called components, under another subfolder called com_Akeeba, and then in the final destination called backup. And you can tell and you can see that this is a pretty long folder to kind of remember. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into the hosting through our FTP, and I already have mine up here. I'm just going to log in. I use CyberDuck. Some people use FileZilla to do their FTP. So here I'm in my root, and sometimes it might say root, but mine says public _HTML. And when I click on that, oops, click too much, you can see the directory called administrator, which is this guy right here, this folder right here. So this tells me this is the root, which is my public HTML, and this is the administrator folder. And next I'm looking for components. I click on components. The next is com_Akeeba. I see it here. I click on that. And the final destination is backup, which is this subfolder right here. This is where Akeeba would store my backup files. So what I want to do is I want to create a folder in the root. So I'm going to go here, click here, go to File, and click on New Folder. I'm going to call this folder, let's say Akeeba, let's say Akeeba Backup. Akeeba Backup. Yeah, that's cool. Create. Fine. And you can see there's a folder now called Akeeba Backup under my root directory. If I come here and I click on this root directory here, you can see it right here, the file or folder I just created. So I'm going to click on that folder, and I'm going to tell Akeeba to use that folder as a storage folder for my backup files. And I'm going to now tell it to save and close, and voila, it's there. It says configuration has been saved, and that's what we want to see. So this was the part two of a 5-part series. I sincerely urge you to watch the part one if you haven't watched it, and yeah, do that. We're moving on to part 3 in the next video. Thank you for watching.